Well, we met way before the thought of iVueit. Actually, we met when we both worked at PepsiCo. How long ago was that?
It was in '07.
Yeah, it was before Reese wasn't even born yet.
No.
Yeah. So
I wasn't married yet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I just got transferred to Columbus. I was living in Raleigh with Frito-Lay. Came back to Ohio. We worked in the Columbus zone together. I was doing local HR finance. Matt was a district.
A new district.
Yeah.
And one of my first meetings with Mike, and I told the story before, is Mike handed me a book on how to manage people. And I'm like, this guy he doesn't even know me. But now that I know Mike, I go, that makes total sense why he would have done that.
Yeah.
No, a friendship just kicked off from there. And then eventually I went into an operations role, Mike into a more sales account management role. And I think we were at Frito-Lay for probably 3 years together before I left.
Yeah, that's about right.
And yeah, 3 or 4 years together and then I left to join Brightview, and then a year later I convinced Mike to make that transition, and he hated me for the first 6 months after that.
It was like my birthday when I went to Brightview. It was like the day after. So all the I'd been at Frito for 11 and a half years. And all the Frito people were wishing me happy birthday, and my boss at the time had me reading landscape legal documents and contracts, and I'm like, I have made the biggest mistake ever. Which ultimately it turned out to be a great decision, because ultimately what turned out was getting into the landscape business and understanding what Brightview was building with this aggregator model turned into just us realizing there was a blind spot, right? And we used to have so much information at our fingertips at PepsiCo. We knew how many pounds of potato chips were on the floor, how, the share of wallet, how everything was being executed, and we couldn't tell our largest customers at the time, did we mow the grass, did we plow the snow, and ultimately we said, hey, there's got to be a better way to do this, and really how we came up with iVueit is creating that bridge to fill that on-demand need of information, right? It's got to be a faster way. We already have these great, landscape architects drive around with F-250s. How do we better utilize our own boots on the ground by creating a network that expands boots on the ground?
Well, when we met, I think we were both aligned on our futures probably weren't going to be looking to retire with Frito-Lay. We had both had, I think, an idea that we wanted to start a company. We just didn't know what it was going to be.
We almost started, not to divulge, because I think there's still something there, but there was two very different ideas that we almost...
And we started going down a path
with
kind of with one of them. And even after we started iVueit, there was still a potential of another path with a product idea. So I think that's why it always worked, is we both had this vision of something we wanted for our future that was different than where we were at. So yeah, it's been now 15 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Since we met. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we learned at Frito real quickly, right? That it's more important the closer you get to the street, and just the tornado of just stuff that hits the front line. And ultimately, we wanted to solve a problem and gather information, but we knew we could help the front line, and gather information, execute better, allow them to do what they're better at. And I think that's kind of where it started. And where it's going is just how do we continue to grab and gather data fast, right? And it's we'll probably talk about product, but how do we get that information quickly so that folks can get their job done even faster? So.
We had no idea what we were doing.
Zero clue.
I mean, that's where we're at. I mean, we had raised a little bit of capital from family and friends, and anticipated that was going to carry us for the next year of development, and it obviously didn't. But a lot of the design came from working with our developer at the time. But I think Mike and I, you've seen the design we had of the app. We kind of stayed true to that first napkin sketch of what we thought the app could be. It's obviously transitioned and changed over time, but we really didn't know. I mean, and you can see the products changed completely over the years. One of the things we talked about the other day is initially we thought it was just going to be photos, and we thought it was just going to flow directly from our viewers to our clients, and we were just going to stay in the background. It's really just going to be Matt and Mike and maybe a CTO or a CFO, and that's going to be about it. And we quickly found out it couldn't work that way, right? We had to have QC on the back end, we had to have people managing our clients and making sure that the quality was high, as high or higher than they would get from their own people. So, but in the beginning, it was we kind of just went with our gut and started building what we thought our clients would need. But truly, we had no idea, because nothing like this existed. So,
and I mean, that's continued to evolve. We just listen to our customers, what they need and the problems, because it started with land and snow, and it's led into so many different things and so many different avenues, and now verticals. As long as we're listening to our customers on what we're going to build, we feel pretty confident we'll be successful. I'll let you answer too, but I think it's our people. Period, right? Like the technology is critical, but those who are behind the scenes, building it, who are doing our marketing, who are our operators, our salespeople, like talent is key. So we put a lot of pride in the people that we bring on who are going to interact with our customers. So I think as good as the technology is, it's the people behind it.
Yeah, and it's honesty. Like with every single client, we've been in several industries where. You can provide misleading information to clients, and sometimes we lead with honesty in every conversation. So we're comfortable having whether it's operator, sales guy, national accounts, or marketing, our clients know that we're going to be honest about our capabilities and what we can and cannot do.
Yeah. Well, and when we first got this thing going, we turned dots on the map or viewers. We said no a lot because we knew we wouldn't be able to achieve what the customers wanted. It's not so much the case anymore, and now I think we can do that, and that's what's pushing us and stretching us. But to Matt's point, it's honesty on the execution of what we can come through with.
Well, it was initially born from Mike and I have 3 kids, and they're all heavily involved in youth athletics. But and we coach a lot of these things, and so a lot of these organizations are constantly looking for sponsorships. And so initially, Mike and I just started sponsoring our own kids' things and thought it would be a really neat idea if we could continue to get employees involved with their kids' programs as well. And so sponsorship was a natural tie-in. And so we thought it would be a great idea if every employee had the opportunity to sponsor their own kids' sports teams. And it's kind of went down a path of when I was sponsoring dirt bike riders and taekwondo athletes, and it's kind of, we're now kind of global in a sense, sponsoring people in different countries. But it's been a great program. Hopefully it's allowed kids to get involved with athletics. We think that's an important aspect of being a kid, is being involved with a team and with a youth sports program. So it's been a really neat thing to watch. And it does give you a sense of pride when you go to your own fields and see your name, banners across there. So you feel like you're doing something good for the community.
Yeah, the world doesn't need more Yetis, right? So it's nice to find ways to give back there, and just to echo what Matt said, I think it's grit. It's baseball, softball are real important to us, right? We spend a lot of time there, and the ability to just fail and bounce back and fail and bounce back, right? So yeah, it's just a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean it's obviously starting in FM, and even some of the synergies there led us first to residential. We're looking and moving into, we're in insurance, municipalities, and back to retail and consumer packaged goods where we came from. We think we've been successful in FM because of our expertise and the team that we brought on. Same with retail, how we've built that team out. And the goal is to continue to do that because the product that we have, right, this on-demand network, just resonates in so many of those. And then there are some tweaks in getting it right and speaking the language. But our ability to help them with the high level of execution is just proven to be, it's right there. And there may be some variations that are in the market, but back to the things that we think iVueit are really strong at, I think we come in at a different angle and have been able to help these customers. And you're going to see some big things out of some of those verticals from us coming up.
I think a great example would probably be the Dollar General. I mean, feedback from a client on how we've saved them a tremendous amount of money and allowed them to better communicate and grade their contractors. I think. Good example.
we've been working with them for years, right? And it's, after the first landscape season, the ability for them to say, hey, that was our best landscape season ever. And it was really because of the information, right? It comes back to just transparency. The first time ever with as many sites as they have, they're building 3 a day. And just, the contractors are, similar to how Brightview was, they think they're being picked up. They think that they're being mowed. Us to add that visibility, it's a win-win-win for us, for Dollar General, the retailer, and then the contractors that say, hey, now I know, I'm going to take care of it. And from there, it's been great too, because it's led into us helping in other parts of their business, whether it's inside the store, whether it's with sustainability. There's some unique programs we're doing there. Warranty, it's really evolved within that organization to say, hey, here's a great organization that we use to gather data. Some other departments inside Dollar General may need that too, and it's only made the initial landscape program that much better.
Yeah, I don't think we can overstate the impact we've had with a client like Dollar General. And we said it before, but they told us in the beginning that in one day we supplied more comprehensive data on their sites than they've had in the history of the company. In one day, they've just never been able to collect data that fast, and so that's hugely impactful for a client like Dollar General. It's going to be 20,000 locations in the U.S.
Years, we're like days. I don't know when this is going to actually go live, but we've got the new client portal coming out, which we're really excited to show our current customers and new customers. We just launched video views, which is adds on to the capabilities that our viewers can work with. And in part of that new client portal, there's going to be some really good technology allowing them to really manage their views and their properties themselves, as well as tap into our folks behind the scenes to help them. But some really good innovation around better organizing their photos, and then analytics to help them analyze their data. So by the end of 2024, there's going to be some significant changes to the iVueit portal platform, and then we'll be working on the app for the viewers in the subsequent months.
The analytics piece is something we haven't fully kind of fleshed out yet, but that's going to be a big piece that we haven't previously ever had.
Yeah, there's going to be new ways to score views that's going to just drive data, so more than just photos and just the survey questions, so that's going to be really big. But I think that, one sneak peek that they'll start seeing soon is, a total user experience that changes to the point that I don't have to wait to send a template to send views out. I can reissue, I can upload my batches, I have a whole view engine, right, to start and get views out, similar to ordering up Ubers. I can order up views as I need them. So we're really excited to see how the clients utilize that.
One, I think it's hire the best people. We've been pretty fortunate that we've been able to kind of handpick people that want to be part of the iVueit team, and so that helps a lot. We try to minimize mistakes in hiring, and we've been able to do that so far. But I think we live our values every day. If you've been to our office, it's pretty unique, and we try to explain that to people coming on board. But when they get in, they see it for the first time, they go, wow, you guys really weren't lying. It really is that way. We respect people, but we also like to have a good time and get together outside of work and meet each other's families and do special events together and things like that help create a better, more cohesive work environment. But it starts with hiring the right people, and so I think we've done a great job of that the last 4 years.
Yeah, and I think Matt and I demand a bit of a level of excellence, and I think sometimes you wouldn't think that from the outside, kind of how we do like to have fun. But we dial into the data and we look at processes and we're trying to put those things in. So I think it's the right mix of, hey, this is a fun place to work, but I'm also going to grow as a professional. And I think that's one thing that we're continuing to make sure that folks understand, we're the bar when it comes to what we do because of how we act, the big companies that we work with. And I think that's important for folks who are coming on board to understand that, because we talk about PepsiCo a lot, right? You are held accountable. And in a small company, you'll be really exposed. And we haven't had that because we do a good job, I think, setting it up, setting the expectations and holding people accountable, and then teaching that. You're a great example, Emily. you were, somewhat of a diamond in the rough from a marketing standpoint, and it just keep getting better, and then that resonates with others, right? And that culture continues to grow.
And it's giving you a tremendous amount of responsibility at an early age, early on in your career. And we both had that at Frito-Lay.
Yep.
And we're managing large businesses in our mid to late 20s. And that makes you grow up a little bit, right? And it's kind of that sink or swim mentality. And we want people with grit and determination. And I think we've been able to find that in most of our people.
Yep. One of the most rewarding things that I think I can say we found from this is the inspiration of others to go do. And maybe it's because they're like, hey, those two knuckleheads could do it, I can do it. But we know a lot of folks who have made the leap and have become entrepreneurs since we've done this. And I think that, to me, it was the learning was like, bet on yourself and go and make the jump. And it's going to suck for a while, but like if you've got a good idea, and you believe in yourself, and you're gonna put the hard work in, and you're gonna sacrifice, you'll probably be successful. So yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, Mike and I both had young kids when we left good careers to do this. You have to have your spouse on board. It's because it's a family decision, and it's very impactful. We could have stayed in our careers and continued to advance and been really comfortable in life. So it's hard, and it's not for everybody. It's just not. I know a lot of really smart people that this probably isn't the right path for them, right? But for us, it wasn't about, Mike and I didn't come from a software background, but we both had the same work ethic. And that's what we preach to our kids today, it's work ethic. And so we always felt we could be successful. We'd find a path, no matter what. And it wasn't based, again, on our expertise in software or in facilities. It was just based on the fact that we knew we just don't fail at things. And so, but again, this isn't a path for everybody, and you have to make the decision for yourself and your family. Well, I said it, Mike and I don't have a background in technology, right? I mean, and so we were relying heavily on contractors to help facilitate the first product, and that was a challenge. If we had to do it over again, we probably would have brought on a CTO or found a CTO partner from day one. But also, raising capital, raising our first round, you're going to family and friends and asking for cash to help fund a business that it's tough for them to even understand what we're going to do, what the idea of iVueit even is, right? And so, I think that was probably money and technology were probably the first challenges which most entrepreneurs will probably encounter when starting their business.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. I mentioned just seeing others kind of, say, hey, I can do this. And I think then the other would be, for me anyways, we worked for a couple of big companies and we learned good things and bad things along the way. And it probably is, creating the company and the culture that we have. And then, the freedom that folks have and ourselves to be there for our kids, right? I mean, we work hard, but I think we have a very good understanding and we're not fake about that. That I think I've been around more for my kids since doing this, and I probably worked harder, but I don't know why. Just the work-life integration has been good. So it's been a good decision for us all the way around for the family. So
yeah, I think every one of our employees would say the same thing. Mm-hmm. They spend more time with their kids, their spouses, than they ever have. And so I take my daughters to school every day. And that's a staple. In any other career, I probably wouldn't be able to do that, right? So, that's probably the biggest thing. It's allowed us and our employees to truly spend more time with their kids and their spouses, which is fantastic.
Yep. Wow. Well, again, I think we're committed, and I don't know, this wasn't always the case, that we're a tech company. We were just going over spend and everything this morning. It's ridiculous where we are at now with our dev team and all of that. And I think that's it. I mean, we're a tech company. We're operating like a tech company. The technology that's coming in, the innovation is going to be phenomenal. And it's going to allow us to go other places, other verticals, bringing in, again, AI is a buzzword for sure, but we're going to make the right decisions where we, kind of implement that. And I think you're going to see a rapid growth of new technology and people. I mean, I think we're bringing on next week we're going to be adding, I don't know, 6 people, and that's not going to slow down kind of where we're headed. So.
I mean, we have a network of, by the end of this year, will be well over 500,000 viewers. So this is massive, engaged network of people that have a tremendous amount of capabilities, and so understanding how we can better leverage them and the data that we're getting back from the field is going to be huge in the coming years. I think maybe a question for you, and how we engage with our viewers. I mean, our viewers stay on our platform because of the work that our marketing team and our viewer community manager do. We keep them engaged, we keep them excited about the platform, but we also keep them, keep a lot of dots in the map so that we can continue to make money.
All right. So you're just asking a funny story. Well, I think there's a lot. When founders have worked together as long as Matt and I, like, it's almost like the mind melt thing, right? And there's something there because, and we've come across a lot of companies and a lot of people we've worked with that it didn't work because the founders couldn't make it work. I mean, I've seen places where they're in the same building and have lawsuits against each other, right? And it's funny, we were doing we're on a drive somewhere with the team, right? We kind of travel together, and everybody was asking like, "Oh, what kind of car would you be? What kind of car would you be?" And everybody's like, "I'm a Corvette." Matt looks out and so they're going across the pond. He's like, "Mike would be a jet ski," and he's right because he's like he understands me, right, and I get him, and I think that's one big reason we've been successful as founders together. So yeah.
One thing I'm waiting on though is I've been told there's probably again, we travel a lot. We've been traveling together. I mean, in our Frito-Lay days, we were rooming together. In the beginning, iVueit, we were rooming together everywhere we went. But I have a tendency to fall asleep, apparently, in strange places and sitting up.
There will be a retirement video of 150 photos of Matt sleeping in 150 different places. So
just in the middle of the day, on a bus, on a train, it doesn't matter.
In a golf.
I'm going to fall asleep right now.
Lobby.
Yeah, golf courses.
So yeah, but no, it's been a really good ride, right? And we're really proud of what we built, and we had the idea, yes, but it's those in our organization that have and in our viewers that have helped get it there. So
I mean, even though we talk about sports and softball and stuff, our daughters play on the same travel team, right? We're together on weekends, and they're creating memories together now. So it's just really cool.
For sure. Good job.